Alright, so let's just start by doing something simple. Let's just have a little shootout. Epiphone versus Gibson. Which one's better? Do they deserve comparison? Are they similar? Well, let's just start by looking at them. Okay? I mean, let's have a look at this Epiphone. Just in terms of its overall visual appeal, it's pretty nice. Although, you can see there in some places that the fit and finish is probably a little bit more, mass production. But that's just about it. I mean, overall, fit and finish is pretty good. For a mass production guitar, fit and finish is, I would say, superb. And these things retail for about, what, $550 here in Canada, so $550-ish. So this is the ES339. What are you exactly? Model dot ES339. What does that say? No, don't focus. ES339CH. Okay, so I think this is a 2013 model. Anyway, so let's have a little look at her. So first thing is these frets. For me, just in terms of its overall playability, these frets are quite a lot skinnier and the crown on them is different. So I personally find this guitar more comfortable to play. Although it does have a weird sort of, like, it's got a really, maybe it's, I have to admit, I've never paid it. I've owned a few of these guitars, these archtops, but I guess I've never paid attention to it. But it has a really flat profile on the back. And up here, it's really boxy. On this one, it's really boxy. So it's really, really flat back here. I guess that's for holding it like this. But I tend to kind of hold it like this, which a lot of guys say is wrong, but go fuck your hat. Whatever. But yeah, anyway, that was about, this is a little less pronounced on this one here. It's a little less pronounced. But overall, I mean, it stays in tune. It's got these, what are these? Grover Deluxe tuners? Yeah, they work great. No complaints at all. In fact, I have no complaints at all about this guitar in any regard. It's, this appears to be, in fact, exactly the same kind of nut, this Corian business. I looked up the specs of this guitar. So this is a Corian nut. And this is like that new magnetic system for this bridge, so that shit doesn't fall off. It just sticks there with magnets, which is pretty awesome there as frig. It's got the quick connect system. As you can see there's a little circuit board, a little quick connect system. It's got push-pull pots. So if you follow me regularly, you've probably heard this guitar. I did a quick little run through it. I'll do a run through both of them, but we'll just do a quick little visual inspection first. So overall, really nice guitar. And as I said, personally, I just find these sort of medium type frets a little more comfortable to play, but I guess that's personal preference. So then you look at this guitar. Okay, and it's got the sort of the same neck profile. Like, it's really flat at the back if you've never played one of these guitars, but that business up here at the top is a little more rounded over, so it's not so pronounced. I find this one a bit more comfortable up here. But overall, it's pretty well, it feels pretty similar up and down the neck. Now, what I don't like personally about this guitar, some guys might prefer this, is just these frets feel really tall And I don't like really tall frets personally. But if you like tall frets, you would prefer to play this guitar. If that's your thing. If tall frets is your thing, this guitar is will serve you well in that department. Fit and finish on this, I would say, is pretty decent. And I have to say, I don't know what vintage this guitar is. But the thing that drives me crazy about Gibsons is like, look at all the money you pay for this, and I can't imagine this guitar is very old, but look at the look at the condition the lacquer is in already. It's already starting to do that bullshit where it starts to like double in on itself. Like this, for me personally, this would drive me crazy. I do not like this. Like look at that. The lacquer's already starting to do that kind of shit all over the place. Right? I mean... So, as I said, I don't really know how old this is, but yeah, look at that. Right? You can really tell up here. Like, this is something you would expect from a guitar that's 40 or 50 years old. Not something that's, I reckon, no older than about probably 10 years old. As I said, I don't have a clue what year this thing is. Maybe we can work that out from the serial number. But yeah, that would drive me crazy. Anyway, but some people like that shit, I guess. I don't know. If you buy into that, that to me is just like, oh, my guitar is crumbling in on itself. That's what that feels like to me. It's like, oh shit, this is all gonna just peel off and this is gonna crumble in on itself eventually. And I don't want that. I paid a lot of money for this. I want this to stay looking well. That's just my personal feeling. I'm sorry. I know there's lots of guys out there who like this sort of thing, so I guess this appeals to you fellas, but to me, not at all. To me, this is just like, oh, what a shame. What a bloody shame that your guitar is doing this. This is the way it's been manufactured. I don't know. It's not my thing. Right? Like, look at all these joints. Starting to separate. Not good for me. Not good for me. But anyway, obviously it plays superbly. It's got, whoever had this last did a really good setup on it, or paid for a really good setup. This one plays great. So let's finally get to, let's finally get to playing these things. Oh, there was one other ugly thing about this. I don't like the way all these Gibsons are like look at that. They'll start to crumble around the tuners. Oh, that would drive me crazy. So I reckon this guitar's got to be worth in the neighborhood of about $2,000 Canadian. It's got to be somewhere in that neighborhood. Or more, probably more. A custom shop Gibson like this. Yeah, that's got to be north of $2,000 at least, I would say. Anyway, so yeah, that's the serial number there. I don't know why people hide these serial numbers when they sell these things. Like, who gives a fuck? What do you think somebody's going to do with your serial number? Anyway, there we go. And if anybody reckons they can tell what year that is from that, then let us know in the comments section. Let's have a poke inside. There we go. Let's get that under some light. Okay, so that's just the same number that's on the headstock. This doesn't really give me much clue. The wiring appears to be, it appears to predate Gibson's Quick Connect system, so, sorry, let me get in some proper light. Assistant, can we get a light? No? Nothing? You're just going to focus on the shit in the foreground, aren't you, you stupid Sony? So funny. As soon as I heard him complaining about his Sony, he's like, oh yeah, my $1,000 Sony does that too. Okay, so there you see all that old-timey cloth wiring. That's just been all soldered in there. There's no pushy pulls there, just standard old bridge pickup or neck pickup, or both. Okay, let's set this thing up on the tripod and hear it. Okay. Ooh. Take this one. Okay. So, we'll take one of these, we'll play it first. Let's see, are you in the shot? Am I getting the shot? Okay, so we'll play one of those two. We'll just point you over there at the Voxy and see which is which. Okay. Alright, I'll go do some tricky little camera work and put together this little comparison, and you guys decide, which do you like better? The Gibson or the Epiphone? There you go.
Felix.
Hey Felix, are you fixing this Gibson here for us? Hey Felix, what do you think?
You gonna clap, Felix?
Do you think Richard would be happy if he knew you were inside his guitar case? Oh boy. Hey?
I want the baby.
This joke was funnier a minute ago when I wasn't worried about his expensive guitar getting destroyed.